Kate rushed out of her apartment into her car. She needed to get to a pharmacy close by. She had been feeling very funny and hoped that it was not what she was thinking. She prayed that the traffic looming ahead would just clear up. She needed to get her mind off the matter. So she turned on the radio, and Chief Sunny Ade and Oyinka Owenu song came alive. Having babies, no be joko. Without thinking, Kate turned off the radio. She simply cannot be pregnant. Where will I put a baby in my current plans? She had prepared the plan with Chris, and they had both agreed that having children will complicate their current situation. Their current situation had nothing to do with finances. Kate is a middle manager at an auditing firm, while Chris owns a real estate firm. Their house is at one of the eyebrow estates in Lagos, estates with uniformed security men and women, with fountains right at the middle of the vast compound. Though this was not their first house. When they got married 9 years ago, they lived in a compound with 16 apartments. Kate sighed as she remembered Stella. The only thing worse than living in a congested compound was having to share it with a noisy neighbor. Every morning, Stella would sing loudly as if she was conducting a choir in church. She would occasionally interject with claps. Stella would pray loudly for all persons waiting on God for the fruit of the womb. Cynthia, Carol, wake up, referring to her two daughters. Her husband would be heard grumbling quietly, but she just ignores him as though he wasn't there. And she does all this while thinking. The worst part was, if she needed to borrow an essential, say salt, she knocks any of the neighbors' doors at any time of the day. Though she was always so apologetic about it, and takes her time to explain why the request cannot wait. Kate was often at the receiving end of this behavior because she was Stella's next door neighbor. Stella was one of the major reasons why Kate and Chris decided to move out of the compound. The decision to hold on before having a baby was made in the apartment. They observed how families were living and decided to hold up on having a child until they could afford one. Each of them wrote out a plan of what they would achieve before having children. Chris would have an established real estate business. Kate would become a managing partner at a company. Kate's mom called her severally to inquire as to what the issue was with their childlessness. She had brought several prophets to the house to cleanse it. After cleansing several houses, the poor woman came to the logical conclusion that her daughter or son-in-law was barren. So she changed the focus of her prayer from the house to the healing of the couple. The goal of not having children was fairly easy for the couple because as they advanced in their career, they traveled a lot and had less time to stay together. However, in August, by sheer providence, they discovered that they both needed to go to South Africa on a business trip, totally unplanned. She knew that if she was pregnant, it was a result of that trip. Finally, at the pharmacy, she drove into the parking lot. She said a word of prayer as she entered. "Congratulations, madam." This jolted her a bit. "For what?" "Madam, you have been coming to this pharmacy for over 5 years. I have never seen a child with you, and I have never seen you buy a pregnancy test kit." Kate ignored the attendant and decided against using the pharmacy's toilet for the test. The strip was green. She was indeed pregnant. And she found out exactly a month to her interview for the managing partner's role. She only needed 6 more months, maybe 12. Then the baby would have been a blessing. Chris was away on a study trip and would be coming home in 2 months. By then, it would be Christmas. She had asked Chris what he wanted for Christmas. "Your letter of promotion to the role of a MP," he said. "Honey, you have worked hard for it." How will she tell Chris about the baby? She decided to tell him that evening. While she was just forming that thought, Chris sent her a mail containing tips on how to do well at an interview for the role of managing partner. Kate decided against telling Chris about the baby over the phone. She would go for the interview as planned. She would do well. Babies, after all, have no effect on performance on the job. However, if for some reason she is not considered for promotion, she will be out next year due to maternity leave. This reduces her chances of ever attaining the position. A month later, Kate attended the interview. It was going on well until she began to feel queasy. When she could not hold it down anymore, she rushed to the bathroom, threw up her entire breakfast, her makeup ruined, dress stained. She couldn't even return to the interview. She told Chris that she fell sick in the middle of the interview. He encouraged her and assured her that she would get the promotion. Kate felt bad for the secret that was growing inside of her. She eventually got the letter on Christmas Eve. She bought 2 boxes for her husband's Christmas gift. She picked Chris up from the airport. He noted that his wife looked different. He didn't know what the difference was, but he liked it. She seemed more settled. Her skin glowed like Christmas lights that lit up the Ajose Adeogun street. Chris was sure that his wife had been made a managing partner. She told him that the result was in one of the 2 boxes. 2 gifts for Christmas, he chuckled. Santa must have known he was on his best behavior during the year. Barely able to contain himself, he opened his first gift. It was a letter from Kate's firm, the result of her interview. With steady fingers, he opened the letter. Kate's promotion was not turned down, but it was not approved. Instead, she was given a chance to be interviewed again in 6 months. This is not bad, Chris said, trying to encourage his wife. Don't worry, he said as he opened the second box. You will... His voice trailed off when he discovered that there was another letter. This woman must be playing games, he smiled as he opened the letter. Then the smile froze. Merry Christmas, Daddy, Kate said. Chris began to cry. He didn't even realize how much he wanted a baby until he saw the result. He had just gotten the best Christmas gift. Merry Christmas, honey, he said with a lot of emotion running through his mind. He will make a good father, Kate thought to herself as she opened her own gift. Merry Christmas, folks.